Hi all, Kyber1 here. And tonight, well, it's night for me. It'll be day by the time you guys see this. So, originally I was planning on doing a review of Edge of the Empire. But due to its size, that would take quite a bit longer than I currently have time to do. I'm recording after work. So, in lieu of that, and when I have more time to get into it, probably later Friday night, I might do that. Alright, so without much further ado, boom! Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition Dark Sun, Dragon Kings. So, if you guys have been following this channel for a while, you know that Dark Sun is one of my two favorites. My two favorites, of course, Ravenloft and Dark Sun. Eberron comes in a third place. So, let's see. Unfortunately, there's some binding damage for a book that's about 30 years old. That's to be expected, sort of. Yeah, look at that. There's a lot of stuff in there. And unfortunately, they don't really give much credit. Oh, wait. Yeah, Timothy B. Brown. Okay, January 1992. So, yeah, this is almost 30 years old. Yeah, it's got this gorgeous sand-blown look throughout it. And that right there. I think this was heavily inspired by Dune. I mean, it's more than a thought because Arrakis, Athos, you know, that sort of deal. Excellent art, by the way. Remember, metal is highly scarce in this world, and most money is based off of some sort of clay shrapnel or shard coin, basically. And characters evolve in the Dark Sun universe. Well, in the Dark Sun setting, I should say. And they literally undergo a transformative process, which is covered in this book. This is highly evocative, like Monster Hunter, what you would wear. Like, everything you wear is basically made up of monster parts. And that is awesome. And Warriors Beyond 20th level, like, they really went all out to make sure that Dark Sun had high level challenge, even though it was more dangerous, probably in theory, than any other campaign setting at the time, because Ravenloft is dangerous, right? But it's a known danger that makes itself readily available, right? You don't have the same protections in a desert necessarily that you do in a horror setting. Like, the entire planet is out to kill you. And it just, they go over so much. Yeah, check this out. Combat by champions is an excellent tool for bringing grand battles back down to the character level. No matter what the troop strength, magical and psionic aids, trains of supplies, plans, tactics, morale, etc. The struggle comes down to the swings of weapons between two powerful warriors. And yeah, that is awesome. So this utilizes the battle system, and they introduce the psionics in there, and the Gith, like, there was so many cool aspects about Dark Sun, and this is the Mad Max / Dune of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, you literally have war bands in this post-apocalypse desert environment, and it's I have to say that Fury Road, despite how different it was from the earlier Mad Max movies, honestly, I didn't really care for the first Mad Max movie. It set everything up for those that followed, but Fury Road is honestly a really good movie. Yeah, so much cool stuff in this. I mean, granted, I would never run battle system rules or whatever because it slows down the game. Trying to figure out all this and how it relates to actual Dungeons and Dragons, like, having multiple systems to accomplish the same essential goal doesn't improve a game. But look at that art. That's evocative. Yeah. Undead War Beetle. Like, look at that. You literally have sections in the desert that will pull you under because it's about as dense as water, but it's hot sand. And look at that art. Kind of Conan the Barbarian-esque. Yeah. Like, it literally goes over the majority of character types, and you have the capability of going to 30th level. $20 to $30. Spell level 10. I really want Dark Sun in 5th edition. That being said, I know Wizards of the Coast will not do it justice. And how do I know that? Dark Sun's too brutal, honestly. Like, this is what I was talking about. Dragon metamorphosis. This guy's going through stages of transforming into a dragon. That's what I'm talking about. Just absorb this, okay? Absorb that. So much of this is like 2nd edition rules, like THAC0 and all that. Oh yeah, check this out. The Tome of Magic and Dark Sun campaigns. Wild Mages. These are perfectly acceptable in Dark Sun campaigns. Yes. Like, I love how it connects everything. Oh, the wish spell. Ugh. Honestly, game masters, get rid of the wish spell. It's seriously broken because players will use it for things you didn't want. And it doesn't really feel earned. Yeah. Once again, another excellent sort of evocative piece of art. And then, yeah, olfactory, taste, sensory effects. Like, there's literal effects that you want to instill in the players when they cast spells on Dark Sun. But this is great for anything. And priests here are similar to the druids in the Scarred Lands setting. And I think the Scarred Lands really pulled from Dark Sun as far as how dire it is. The Scarred Lands was a product put out by White Wolf, and I'm pretty tempted to start covering a lot of that. Because it's just awesome. Character elemental table level up to 30. Hit dice and variety. Yeah. Templars. In the Dark Sun campaign, the only PC class that cannot advance beyond 20th level is the Templar. So, I mean, there were restrictions. Druids. Yeah. Like, and once again, there's references to the Tome of Magic. Oh, here's the planes. So, Dark Sun is set in its own collapsing universe, I think. Like, Athos resides on the prime material plane. Actually, it is on but one of many alternate prime planes, but these alternate have no impact on Athos. All standard play in Dark Sun campaign takes place on the prime material plane. So it's kind of world locked. And it's due to a bunch of features going on. But I love this book because this is one of the few books I could get my hands on that are Dark Sun. And yeah, look at that art. I mean, you literally dress for survival. You don't get all these magical things. You take what you can find, and if it's a better piece of armor, you use it. If it's a better weapon, you use it. And sometimes the city is just as dangerous. I mean, thief skill racial adjustments optional. Yeah. Dwarf, elf, halfling, or mole. So a mole is a half dwarf, half human. Sorry, mule. Half dwarf, half human. Exclusive to Dark Sun. So, bribery table. Peasant or slave, freeman or soldier, merchant or officer, noble or general. Yeah, And here's the issue with this. 2d4 CP, okay. 3d8 CP. 5d10 CP. But 5d100 CP, just say 5d1 GP, you know? Because 1 GP is worth that, right? Sorry, it's about it's almost 1 in the morning here. All right. Beautiful art. The NK using some sort of psionic blast. The brown elf. Yeah. Psionic Beastmasters. That's awesome. So, definitely lots of spells to consider. Oh, look at that. So, this is what I'm talking about. Dark Sun just has this evocative feeling that you don't have in any other world. And the art pulls through. Art sells your books. There's not much to say because this goes over so many specifics, but at the same time, those specifics are inherently intertwined with what Dark Sun is. You have new wizard spells. Defiling regeneration, necromancy. Once again, very evocative art. You have to give the art crew credit for Dark Sun because they had a vision here. And you see a very similar art style in the Scarred Lands books. I think I'm going to do a review of one of those soon. Like, every piece of art in this book it's true to the source. Like, harsh battles in a harsh world with creatures that you just don't see anywhere else. Magic is dangerous because it's defiling most of the time. And people see psionics, and because magic defiles, they don't care to give you the time to explain that you're not using magic. You are to be hunted down and killed because you're not a sorcerer king yet. And here's an Evangean metamorphosis. Like, that is sick in a good way. Raised Nation, necromancy. Size, outpost, 10 to 40 skeletons. Village, 40 to 400 skeletons. City, 200 to 2,000 skeletons. Great city, 1,000 to 4,000 skeletons. So, this is something that's really interesting. A great city on Athos has about 4,000 dead bodies to contribute. That goes to show you the level of sustainability. If you look at the Forgotten Realms, and then they tell you a city size, for instance, Raised Nation in Forgotten Realms would be much more potent. The survivability on Athos doesn't leave many bones. Yeah. Wow. That is savage. And then you have new priest spells. I can't tell if he's trying to help or what. And I like how it says reversible down here for some spells. Like Conjure Lesser Elemental reversible. So that means you can banish basically. Or Clear Water reversible. So you can make water murky. Good Weather reversible. Protection from Weather reversible. Yeah, look at that. And I gotta give them credit. Look, if you look at this font size, the font is legible. Like it's boldened for when it needs to be boldened to call something out, but there's enough spacing that I don't get that weird headache when you're trying to read sections that are far too close together. Yeah, see, this is a Mountainous Barrier, Conjuration Summoning, and that's what they're doing there. I mean, Dark Sun really puts... It puts everything full force. Like, the smallest power... I mean, granted, we're talking 9th and 10th level right here. But the smallest level of magical power has a real effect in Dark Sun. Wow. Feel moisture. Weather prediction. I mean, seriously, doesn't this look like a fun place to travel in? Like, everything looks horrifying in its own way. Wow, look at that. Sorry. Look how beautiful that art is. You have the Thrykeen, and those came back in 3rd edition. Some books. Look at that. Yeah, and then you have Dragons of Tyr. This is the lettering I'm talking about. You see this? I mean, granted, they had to fit this on one page, but that is hard to read. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Elemental, clerical. Evangeline. So, yeah. That is a flip through / kind of review of what's in the Dark Sun Dragon King's game accessory for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition and Battle System. So, I love Dark Sun. It is one of the only systems or settings that it's got that world lore mechanic to it. Like, to such an extent, everything revolves around the desert, and that makes it feel lived in, because all the creatures have to be able to survive in this environment. You don't see owlbears. And that to me just... You don't have people walking around in metal armor. One, because it's the desert, and that's a bad idea. You would rather have light, easy to cool armor. Lightweight and easy to cool, because you need to get out of that desert heat. And the insectoid beings in this are incredibly terrifying. I mean, just imagine if praying mantises were your size. And remember, a praying mantis can break a lizard's neck. Okay? Like, a lizard about this big, so about a foot long. A praying mantis has enough strength in its grip to break the neck of one of those. I learned that. And there are things like praying mantises that are slightly larger than humans in this. So it's not a good idea. Trust me, watch some shows on insects or scorpions or anything you would run into in this. And there is a level of horror that, I mean, you would rather deal with a vampire than a swarm of insects that are your height. Okay? Like, you're like, yeah. Strahd? Yeah, you. Not this. Alright. So, Kyburn 1 out.